This is a rear derailleur. This is a chain. Brandon, what's this?
That is a cassette.
Yes. All right, guys, let's get on topic. Hey everybody, it's Thomas with Get Out Arizona, and I'm way too stoned to drive to the Devil's House. I'm joined once again with my co-host Brandon Van Leuven. Brandon, how you doing?
Good.
Awesome. You're watching another episode of Toolbox Topic, and today is part 4 of our Drivetrain series. And today we are going to be talking about the rear portion of the bike, which includes the rear derailleur, the cassette, the chain. We're going to talk about how they function, adjustments, and some maintenance tips, correct?
Correct.
You sure?
Sounds good.
Okay. All right. We can talk about something else if you want to.
Let's do this one.
Let's do this one?
All right.
All right.
We got the stuff out.
So Brandon, yes, it's true. We already got the stuff out. So these are the 3 main pieces of the drivetrain as far as the rear portion goes. Why don't you give us a brief overview on these different items and the differences you're going to see between derailleurs, cassettes, and chains.
So what we have here, just one example of so many other different ones. For every one derailleur, for every derailleur, there's probably 100 different ones depending on the configuration of your drivetrain. So just one example of each of these. Like you said before, the rear derailleur, chain, cassette. Dude, there's so many. We could spend all day talking about all of them, but
we won't.
But we and you'll thank us for it.
Right.
But yeah, it's we've mentioned in past episodes too the compatibility issues, and really that's what we do. There's anywhere from 5 to 12 speed drivetrains, and we're always trying to make sure everything's compatible with the shifters, the front derailleur, the rear derailleur, the chain, all that stuff. Even when it comes to the chain, every chain is specific to how many speeds you have in the back.
Right.
The thickness of the chain has to accommodate for how many gears you have.
Right.
So,
yes,
a lot to deal with.
Because a 12 speed cassette, the chain is significantly thinner.
Very narrow, yeah.
Yeah, and it has to be to accommodate all those gears within the same allotted amount of space.
If we're looking at this 12 speed cassette, this one might be 11 speed, but you get the idea.
Yeah.
In past, this same spacing was for only 5 or 6 speeds.
Right.
So they're just jamming everything in here, so everything's getting narrower, and it's getting better.
Yeah,
Every year.
definitely.
It's getting great.
Again, that technology every year, couple years, it increases and stuff. Now, the rear derailleur, I think, is much more complex than the front derailleur, the adjustments and everything. But just like when we were talking on the last episode with bottom brackets and the ceramic bearings and that law of diminishing returns, I've seen quite a few custom rear derailleurs that are absolutely gorgeous.
They're beautiful, yes.
But man, are they expensive. Holy smokes. Again, send money to me, folks. Waste on this crap. Is there any advantage to be gained with going with one of those custom made rear derailleurs? Other than, say, the exogenous material or that wow factor, is there really anything to be gained?
No, I think they're beautiful. I don't know if I can say they perform any better than perhaps a Shimano, a production Shimano or SRAM derailleur.
Okay.
But they are nice. For instance, like Paul.
Yeah.
Paul manufacturer makes some really cool stuff. It's tiki. It's really nice.
Yeah.
I've never had one, so I can't.
So if you're riding Brown's Ranch or maybe Pemberton and you're one of those friggin' jagoffs, yeah, go ahead. Go right ahead with your team jersey. No, I'm joking.
They are pretty, and I guess if I had just money to burn, I'd have them just to say I had it. But again, I don't know if the performance is going to exceed that of a production SRAM or Shimano one.
Gotcha. Okay. And that's pretty much, in reading and researching and everything, that's pretty much what I saw. Again, that claimed difference as far as saving that watt or two. But if you're not a competitive cyclist or mountain biker, what does it really matter? And, if you don't have the heart to, crank the pedals, who gives a shit anyways? You're not doing anything.
Talking about that, you can modify a production Shimano or SRAM chain, or excuse me, a derailleur with custom pulleys, custom cages, things like that. As you were alluding to save a little wattage with a little bit nicer bearings and wider pulleys, things like that.
Right.
So there is some modification that can be done. Again, what you and I are
to wet ends.
Yeah.
Never gonna notice it.
Yeah.
I'm falling more than I'm actually riding the bike. But, know, that's a different
Well,
story.
you keep
for a
posting
different
it.
day.
They wouldn't know that if you didn't keep posting it.
Oh, it's fine. It's just people to laugh at. And then chains. Yeah, you know, again, not only are they thinner, but material build, the coatings, a lot of technology goes into these.
Good point. You're right, thinner. The coatings that I have on, I kind of...
Hey.
Pity the fool. That's the goal.
Right.
I kind of compare the coatings that they're putting on to like a Teflon.
Right.
In a pan. And that Teflon will...
yeah, come on, guys. Come on. the cyclist version of brass knuckles. I know, I'm on fire today.
Oh, kid.
That's what I get for not putting any bourbon or cocaine in my coffee. No, okay.
The coatings are going to do two things. They're going to help make a slicker surface so that the chain shifts a little bit smoother, and also it will resist a little corrosion. On there. Yep.
Okay. All right. So now, those are the major parts, guys. It's not, you know, I don't want to say it's not rocket science because there's a lot of complexity going along. Everything has to work properly so to speak. So let's go to the back of the bike.
Yeah.
Check out, you know, what we got back there.
Stuff.
Maintenance tips and kind of show you how everything works and get you guys going as far as what you can do to improve longevity and to make some minor adjustments either out on the trail or at home. Again, so you don't always have to bring it into the bike shop. So let's head to the back of the bike.
Which camera are we looking at?
Look! It's the rear derailleur and the cassette. Don't get your finger caught in there! I'm joking, I know.
Good.
You want to touch it again? Come on, make friends with it. Make friends with it, Brandon. All right, so this is obviously the back of the back of the bike, the cassette and everything. So Brandon, what are some of the things that people need to look for, and what are some of the things that people need to do to ensure longevity and proper functionality of the rear derailleur cassette and chain?
There's two things that we can all do at home to make sure that this thing functions well, and longevity is the key factor because this stuff's expensive.
Yeah.
And if we don't have to replace it, well, I should say we will have to replace it. You ride your bike, you will have to replace it. I promise you that. But let's extend the window of use. There's two ways we can do that.
Okay.
The first way, keep the stuff clean. Very, very simple to do at home.
Now, I do keep my drive clean, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, for sure.
I may not wash the bike, but I do take care of the drivetrain. So, okay.
So, easy thing to do, man. If you don't have a shop rag, just use an old towel, an old T-shirt that you have at home, an old sock, something like that. And just when you're done riding, come through, you know, lean it against the wall. If you have a stand, even better.
Right.
But just clean this guy off. Just run it backwards through here. Get as much as you can off of there. Also with the rear pulleys, get as much as you can off of those guys. Keep the grit and grime out of here. When your chain is dirty, every time the thing comes around, it's just wearing your parts out.
Right.
If you really are in a bad way and really need to clean that thing off, there are, for example, products like Clean Streak, which is a degreaser. But that's really if your stuff is gross. If you do use this, make sure you're not overspraying over to your rotor.
Don't get it on the rotor.
That'll kill it. That'll kill it. But I think for our conditions, and especially in Arizona, it's just dry and dusty. So just a rag, cleaning it off will do just fine. After you've completed cleaning, and don't spend all day on this stuff. It's just going to get dirty. The mountain bike, you got a matter of minutes before it's the way it was. The road bike, you can typically get away with for a couple weeks before in between cleanings. But it's also important after you've done wiping off the excess or cleaning with a degreaser, re-lube. I want to show you two of my faves.
Yep.
Favorite lubes.
And just to let you guys know again, it's not a sponsored video or anything like that. We're not getting any kickbacks or anything. These are products that we actually use on our personal bike. They will be a product and everything, and we will have those links down below so you can check those out.
I like this one, mountain bike. I've had great success with Squirt. It is one of those products. It's a wax-based product, and if applied properly, I can get through 20 bike ride, and the drivetrain still sounds fresh. It still sounds great. It performs great. I don't hear the grinding and the terrible sounds. It doesn't build up. It stays relatively clean.
Right.
Road bike, I love Dumantech. It is a Teflon base one, so both of these you got to make sure you wipe off the excess. I apply one drop to each link, and then let it soak in, and then remove the excess.
And that's important too, because if you have excess lubrication on the chain, it's going to actually attract more dirt and more grime is going to get in there.
Yep.
And as far as the squirt goes, and I'll put the link for it down below too, they actually just released a new product that's geared towards e-bikes, specifically for chains and drive chains for the e-bike.
I did not know that.
Yep. It's a new product, brand new product. So I'll put the link down below so you guys, like me, have an mountain bike, but have analog road bike in the 920. You know, it helps to have the right product for the right thing. So, and it's, I've been using this stuff for just about a year now, and it's brilliant, absolutely brilliant, both these products. So, okay.
So keep the thing clean.
Keep the thing clean.
As clean as you can, but, you know, within reason.
How do we know when our chain's wearing out? Because sometimes, you know, people, you know, it's one of the things, well, I didn't know my chain was going bad. What's something easy that people can do to maybe once a month or quarterly where they can check their chain and they can tell if the chain's getting ready to go?
I got a thing called a chain checker.
Chain checker.
This little $10 piece of metal can save hundreds of dollars over the life of your bike, and it works in two ways. The new version shows a 50% and 75% wear. We call it stretch, but really it's the plates wearing out and the little rollers wearing out is what we're measuring. And how this guy works is, I'll put it in 50% first, and as you can see, I can't get this to seat all the way in there. Obviously, brand new chain. If this seats at 50%, I'm going to flip it over to my 75%. At 75%, we're absolutely going to, for preventative maintenance, we're going to change the chain. 50% is like, all right, let's keep an eye on this now. 75%, we're going to change it. What happens is if we don't change it, if this thing runs to 100%, we then start wearing out the cassette. We start wearing out our chain rings. We start wearing out the pulleys on our derailleur. All that stuff goes really, really fast. And instead of just changing a chain, which we could probably get away with, you know, 2 or 3 times before changing the other components, now we're changing the whole drivetrain. Typically, the cassette and chain are the two. Chain rings don't wear out quite as quickly, nor do the jockey pulleys. But in some cases, that SRAM red stuff, that Shimano Dura Ace cassette, it's like $300 or so. So let's take care of the stuff. $10 tool, keep it at home or have your bike shop check it out for you. Fantastic, it'll save you tons.
And we want to emphasize that these are wearable parts. So at some point in your ownership of your bike, you're going to replace these. Now that, of course, how well you take care of them and maintenance them, how much you ride is another contributing factor. So any type of maintenance that you can do to increase that, because like you said, they're not cheap. Where sure, an entry-level cassette, maybe 40, 50 bucks, you know, chain, same thing. But when you start getting up into the higher end spectrum of groups, Red Eagle,
40, 50
Dura-Ace,
bucks, that's good beer money.
Campanello, I mean, it's going to be expensive, right? You know, or a good bottle of scotch, something along those lines, you know. Not quite a high-class hooker, but you get the point, you know. We want to make sure that we're being wise with our dollars. And I mean, as you can see from the different components and everything like that, again, you got the cables for adjustment and everything, and it's going to be different if you're running a wireless shifter, whether that be, you know, Shimano D-Tap or the SRAM Access. You're not going to have the cable adjustments. And those adjustments are typically done through the app, actually, which is brilliantly made. I only have experience with the SRAM one, and they did a great job. But every little thing works within its own little group to definitely provide an overall outcome.
Well said. Everything is engineered, especially, you know, when we're talking. It's not wise to mix manufacturers and things. Everything is, you know, meant to perform together.
Now you can mix and match within the same group brand, but you don't want to try to cross mix as far as manufacturers go, because even though it's not necessarily proprietary technology, there are some subtle nuances that will limit or completely prohibit them working together in unison. So, so now, is there anything else as far as maintenance goes that our viewers know about, Brandon, as far as the rear and everything?
Those are the 2 big ones. Those are what we see every single day. People not keeping their stuff clean and not doing a proper job of, you know, just checking the chain wear.
Right. Okay. Awesome.
Yeah, those are the 2 things. That's great.
Okay. Well, guys, that actually concludes our Drivetrain series. Hopefully if you haven't seen episodes 1, 2, or 3, I encourage you to go back and check those out. We tried to be as informative as possible without, taking an hour and writing a book on the subject. We very well could have as far as that goes. So I do want to thank you guys for sticking around and watching the entirety of the series and the other episodes we have on the subject. Also, if you found some type of educational value in this, or if you just thought, hey, again, Thomas, that crazy bastard, we keep saying that Brandon's the talent, but he's actually the funny one. I am the funny one.
Yeah,
so,
for sure.
But you're pretty good. You're like my sidekick. You're like my Wookiee. He's like my Wookiee, basically. Unsung hero. Right? We'll put you on a little apple box next time. There you go. Okay, I joke around, guys, but seriously, we appreciate it. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and then hit the little ding-a-ling-ling button. That way, every time we post a new video, you will get an email letting you know that there's something amazing to watch, whether it's a toolbox topic or one of our trail videos or one of our other informative videos. So, anything else?
Another one in the books.
Another one in the books.
Hey, man, you got a birthday coming up tomorrow. Happy birthday.
Yeah, I'm going to be 48 tomorrow, guys. Now, tomorrow's actually the 19th of February. These are always recorded a week ahead of time. So, but yes, tomorrow's my birthday.
Have a good one. Treat yourself.
I will. Of course I will. Dude, it's my birthday. It's my day, gosh darn it. So, guys, what do we always say? Be kind to yourself and others. Always be amazing stewards on the trail. And we have to ask, what are you waiting for? Get out, Arizona. Brandon, thank you so much for being our co-host. Man, we love doing this. If you guys have any comments, please leave them down below. We'd love to hear from you. If you think we missed anything in this series, let us know. We can come back around to it in a different episode. So we'll see you on the next adventure.